Hey guys, this video contains some of the most disturbing confession stories that are going to mess with your head a little. If you're new here, which you obviously are, then make sure you subscribe and you'll find a 6-foot goth baddie in your bed tonight. Or a goth bada. I don't know, whatever. Let's get right into it. I think my mom and brother are having sex. I'm sort of at a loss with this. To start off, I'm 25 and my brother is 20. Our dad passed away a year ago and my brother had a really hard time with it. He eventually withdrew from college and moved back home to get his head straightened out. I was home visiting this weekend and everything seemed normal. We hung out, went out to lunch. My brother and I saw a movie together. We caught up, the usual family stuff. My mom converted my old bedroom into a home office, so I was sleeping in the guest room in the basement. Last night, after everyone went to bed, I snuck out back and blazed up. Don't judge me, I'm not a pothead, but it helps me to relax sometimes. I came inside, watched TV, and around midnight was stupidly hungry, so I went to the kitchen to get a snack. While I was in the kitchen, I thought I heard someone yell something upstairs, but it was muffled. I went to the base of the stairs and listened, and I heard what I'm positive were sex noises from upstairs. I didn't think my mom or bro was seeing anyone, and I definitely didn't think anyone came to the house after I went downstairs. I was mostly just curious, so I crept up the stairs a little, and I could hear one of the voices was my mom for sure. I assumed it was just a booty call and maybe someone snuck in while I was downstairs. I went back to the kitchen, warmed up some pizza in the toaster oven, and was eating it at the counter when I heard a door open and close upstairs, followed by footsteps and then another door closing. Again, curious, so I went upstairs and went to my bro's room to see if he was awake and knew what was going on. His light was on, so I knocked lightly and he answered the door in boxers and looking sweaty. He sort of jumped when he saw it was me, like he wasn't expecting it. He asked what's up, and I said I thought I heard some noises up here and wondered if he had too. He got super sketchy and blushed and said he hadn't heard anything. I was super suspicious now and also felt super awkward because it sort of seemed like maybe he had been involved in making those noises. I felt really embarrassed and weird, and I basically GTFO'd of there and went downstairs. I couldn't sleep that night, and today at breakfast, things were way awkward with me and him and Mom. Maybe I'm being paranoid, I was smoking last night, but it feels like maybe they're having sex and I caught them. I don't know if I'm crazy and there's another explanation, or if I should say something. Part of me thinks if they are doing it, they're both adults, but IDK, it's got a major squick factor to it, and I'm sort of at a loss. Do folks think I'm just being paranoid? And if not, should I say something? Edit. I should have mentioned that I'm a female. Don't know that it makes a huge difference, but some people assumed I was a guy. I was assaulted last night, and I don't know how to feel now. I went out to the bars alone for the first time last night, and I got assaulted. I was out with my friend for a little, and we got pretty drunk, so we called her mom for a ride. Then she dropped me off at home, and then they went home. About 30 minutes goes by, and, well, I wanted to have more fun. I had this idea that going out alone would be okay, and I wanted to see what it was like. I just got broken up with 2 months ago from a 5-year relationship, and my life has been crazy recently. I'm a 27, fairly attractive female, and I'm living my rebel teenage/early 20s phase as I never had one. I'm a little depressed, so I was originally looking for a first hookup just so I can feel something again. I'm not ready for the apps, so why not try the bar? It's about 12:30, so I snuck out and didn't tell anyone. My friend wouldn't have let me go anywhere alone, so I didn't want to tell for some reason. Stupid, I know. I Ubered to one bar and had a water and a drink, and then got nervous, so I hid in the bathroom and talked to the girls in there. That bar closed for the night, 1 a.m., so I ventured off to the next one across the street. I'm like 6 drinks in over the past 6 hours, so I'm feeling good. The second I get in the door, an older man immediately buys me a drink. I can't hear him, and he's just blabbering, so I have no idea what TF he's saying.
We go to the rooftop bar where it's packed, and he won't leave me alone and just outright being creepy. I mouthed to some random to help me, and luckily he took the convo over, and I said I had to pee. So I hide in this bathroom for a long time, making friends in there, telling them I don't want to go out there. They guided me out, and we made our way outside, and the guy was waiting for me. I made it past him, and some younger dude outside told me I was pretty and asked if I wanted to chill for a bit. I told him I'm trying to get an Uber, but the one guy started guiding me to his car and starting up a convo. He started to kiss me, but I wasn't feeling it, and he wanted to basically bang in the parking lot, but I told him no. He's telling me he's 25, but he looked young, so he was maybe like 22, and I'm like, you're too young for me anyway. So I'm walking back to the public to try and order the Uber, and his two other friends were like, yo, what happened? I tried to hook you up with my dude, and you're not with him. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm not feeling it, so I'm going home.
This guy puts his arms around me and told me he actually wanted me, and he was just being nice for the friend to talk to me first. Somehow, he talked me into getting into the car with them to go down the street to another bar. Well, we go, and he's all up on me in the car, and I was enjoying it a little, but I'm pretty drunk, so I'm not thinking straight. The bar was like a 2-minute drive, but when we get there, they were not letting anyone in since it was now 2:30. I just wanted to go home, but the guy kept pressing up on me. Next thing I know, dude has me in the grass aggressively trying to kiss me, and then he's strangling me pretty hard that I'm struggling to breathe. And then he's forcibly fingering me so bad that it hurt. I'm trying to push him off of me, and he kept saying he wanted me right now but needed another drink. I told him I had to go home, and he kept grabbing my arm and tried to grind on me, not letting me get away. I finally was able to break away, and he got in the car with his friend, and I ran to the bar door. I start banging on the door of the bar to let me in. It was still crowded in there. They just wouldn't let new people in. Luckily, the girl lets me wait inside until my Uber arrives. The bouncer walks me to the Uber and tells him to make sure no one follows us because I was just assaulted. Well, my Uber guy, who was like 30, starts asking me questions. I don't feel uncomfortable, but it was just weird. My ride is only maybe 10 minutes, but after him trying to ask a million questions, I told him what happened. And he said, well, I'm not going to lie, I thought you were super cute when you were walking up, so it makes sense that that guy wanted you. We get to my spot, then he parks and just won't stop talking to me for 20 minutes. He said he liked me and wanted to hang out with me some more. I said I needed to go and asked him to unlock the doors. Luckily, I'm staying with a relative recently, and they live in a complex, so the Uber didn't know exactly which condo I was going to. But it was like 3:45 a.m. by the time he opened the door. I'm exhausted. I just waved off a creep, a young dude, a dude that assaulted me, and now the Uber driver all within a short period of time, and I just wanted to go home. It all could have gone way worse, but I just feel disgusting now, and it's safe to say I will never be doing that again. Girls, please, please, please be safe, and don't ever go out alone. I keep thinking what could have happened to me. I just feel so dumb right now. I know better too, and I just can't believe how stupid I was.
I will die feeling guilty about the suicide of my ex, who was pregnant. This happened 4 years ago, but I feel guilty and empty inside every day. I was almost 40, and she was a little over 20. Now I see how asshole I went. She was a dreamer and was almost graduating from college. She discovered a pregnancy, and while she was thinking about what she would do, she discovered a betrayal of mine that lasted our entire relationship. As abortion in our country is illegal, she only asked me for help with the money to be able to perform the abortion in a clandestine clinic. She did not fight with me or the other woman. She repeated innumerable times for almost 3 months that she could not afford the abortion alone and begged me to at least lend her the money. I think that because she was going through life without me, or because of the lack of confrontation at the time, I started to do everything to make her waste the time of having a safe abortion. When she gave me a deadline, I made her come to my house and tried to force her to take a pregnancy test by force, even though she was crying and begging me not to force her to go through this torture again. She told me that she had already done 2 ultrasounds, blood tests, and the whole thing on her own, that she was embarrassed and mentally ill, and that being pregnant was causing problems for her in college and at work. She left that night without taking the test and said that she would solve it on her own and that she would not involve me because I didn't even know if the baby could be mine, and I kept saying things that I know pushed her to the limit. I regret it every day. She died tragically and left a letter basically blaming me for everything. The autopsy showed that she really was pregnant, and to this day, when someone discovers the story, moves away from me. Her family totally blamed me. My parents walked away from me. My mistress thinks I am disgusting, and I know I'm in this situation because of my own fault. I take medicines to sleep, to wake up, to do anything basic, because I can't live in peace. I'm 43 now, and it torments me every day. There is not a day when I do not dream of her crying like the last time I saw her. I feel like even though I didn't kill her, my hands are dirty with blood.
I groped women at a major event and feel horrible about it. I am only but that's no excuse. I was at a major event last night and something came over me, and I would lightly run into women so that my hand would graze over their butt. I started like this, but later in the night I ended up squeezing a girl's butt lightly and speed walking away. All of these encounters were less than a second, but it was a disgusting thing to do. My views of women has definitely changed recently to not caring about their body to being more interested. Pornography has made me think of women as just their body, but this was such a disgusting thing for me to do. I don't have any excuses. I am just horrible. When I got home, I prayed to God to say how sorry I was and that I really messed up and won't ever look at women like that again. I feel like modern-day pornography has rotted my brain into making me think of women as something else, like their bodies are more important. I shouldn't think that because I've always been such a firm believer of the opposite, and I would stand up for women when I could, and I would go to protests. I told my friends in a conversation that I genuinely think all rapists should kill themselves, and I still believe that. If I have dropped so far down to the point that I would violate multiple women, maybe I should just end my life. I don't know if this is something that I can continue living with. I can't apologize to these people because I don't know them, so I don't even know what to do. I will always be a horrible person now, and I don't think there's any going back. I don't deserve any sympathy, and the only reason I'm posting this is because I feel so horrible for what I did, and I can never apologize. I'm so sorry for the depraved actions I did, and I hate myself for them. If someone is going to comment, please tell me what to do next. I am so lost.
Is it assault if I'm blackout drunk? Early this July, I went to a party with one of my close girlfriends to a mutual friend's house. It was the 3rd of July, and they live on the lake, so a lot of people were there. I had a BF, and we had been having a lot of problems. He would pressure me into having sex when I didn't want to, and I woke up multiple times from a nap with his hands in my pants. I had attempted multiple times to break up with him, but he wouldn't really let me. That being said, I hadn't seen him in person for about a week. I got there with my friend and we hung out with the other girls, and people kept giving me drinks because it was my first time ever actually drinking. Eventually, around midnight, my friend says she has to leave because she has work in the morning, so she tells another, drunk, friend to watch me. By around 2 a.m., only about 5 of us were left, 2 girls and 3 guys, and this is about when I stop having any memory of the night. The last things I remember were the guy, me, and a couple other people in a circle drinking. The guy and his friends started giving me a lot of beer, and I knew I was too drunk, so I said I needed to go to sleep. So we went into the house and they put me in a spare bed.
A couple minutes later, the friend asked me to come watch UFC with them, so I did. That's my last real memory, but I've been told that the guy came and sat next to me on the couch, and he kissed me and took me into his room. I woke up in his bed the next morning with no memory of anything. I was told I said yes while it was happening by him. I was freaking out, obviously, and my BF and I broke up that morning. I feel awful about cheating on him, but I would never, ever have let that happen sober. And I know it's my fault I drank so much, but I didn't know my limit. I'm feeling very conflicted in my share of responsibility for everything. This was a couple weeks ago, and another friend invited me to a party tonight, and I don't think I can go because I'm so scared of that happening to me again. I'm also going to college in a couple weeks, and I don't think I can ever drink around a man again. I'm an adult and absolutely can own up to my actions, and I'm not trying to write this off as anyone's fault. I just feel really lonely in my social life about this because of the fact
Have been stalking my childhood best friend's older sister. For some context, I have been friends with this person for a little over 9 years now. Growing up, my household was in constant chaos and drama, and in general, we didn't really do many family activities. So naturally, as Jake and I remained close from childhood into adulthood, we spent a lot of time together. A majority of this time was at his house. His family was the type to do family game night, movie night, annual vacations, church on Christmas Eve, etc. I am very close with everyone in his family, and basically regarded as a member or a sibling at this point. I confide in his mother, his dad gives me life advice, etc. I recently went on a week-long family vacation with them as well. As for his sister, I had obviously known her for a while too, and since I was about 11, I can remember having an absolute massive crush on her. She is 2 years older than both of us. I would consider Jake's sister and me pretty close, as we had also shared all these experiences together for family outings and such. But here's where the confession starts. Mainly when I was in high school, I would sometimes go into her room when she was out of town or whatever and just hang out in there. Sometimes I would steal her clothes, or when showering at her house, would use her soap or her towel. Yes, I was an absolute creep, okay? But this was many years ago when I was in high school and had wild hormones flowing. I am a woman for extended context. Anyway, we had always been like sisters due to the closeness of my family with them. However, we were never super close, like we wouldn't hang out one-on-one. But recently, there was a party thrown by a few of our friends. It was a pretty big one in a nearby forest or field. I had a bit to drink and decided to sit down on a nearby rock. It's a pretty big rock that overlooks the field and the bonfire. Anyway, I was just chilling there alone enjoying the nightlife when the sister, we can call Steph, walks over and sits down. We start talking and share a cig while watching the stars and the sky. It was about 1 a.m. at this point, so decently well into the party. We had never had a super deep talk one-on-one except for this time. Continuing, we kept drinking together alone on that rock, and eventually I had to go to the bathroom, so she walked with me to a bush to get it done. LMO. After that, we decided to just keep on walking through the forest away from the party and talking. We landed on a log that stretched out along a dense, mossy plain. Lying down on the moss, we put our heads against the log and continued our conversation while watching the stars. We started talking about love and relationships, and she had still never kissed a girl. She's also a lesbian. So, as we kept talking, we got closer and closer until she turned and asked if I wanted to fix that. And let me tell you, that moment was the most magical one of my life. I've genuinely been in love with this woman as long as I can remember. It escalated, but I won't go into much detail. And then I told Jake I went to a nearby hotel for the night. I don't live in the area, so I was supposed to stay the night at his. In reality, Steph and I went back to her place and spent the night there. The next morning, I left early after a brief good morning, and we haven't spoken of it since. Do I take this to the grave?